State versus state, mate versus mate. The pinnacle of our great game, rugby league. It is here, boys. State of Origin. I'm joined by Mick, Cord, Bence. How are we, boys?
Good, thanks.
I'm excited.
Good, Dor. Good.
Oh, I can't wait.
I actually can't believe it's come around this quickly. I mean, we're already in June. It's probably been the fastest 13 weeks of NRL ever, to be honest.
Well,
it feels like it, that's for sure.
That's for sure.
Fucking bring it on, boys. Bring it on.
Would you say generally a bit less hype around this year?
Well, look,
Yeah.
I mainly attest that to injuries, though.
I said that argument off podcast purely for the fact, yes, injuries is definitely one. There's so many big stars out. I mean, Cleary, Turbo, Munster, the list goes on. Who else is out? Ponga.
There's a lot.
It's supposed to be the battle of like the biggest dogs of the league, and I feel like we don't have the biggest dogs of the league. You know what I mean?
From a Queensland perspective, I'd almost attest it to us being the favourites once.
Yeah, it feels wrong. I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like it at all.
But we're still going to win.
We need to be the underdog.
Yeah. We do need to be the underdog.
Well, we are $1.82 favourites on Sportsbet.
That
and
is
New South
ick of
Wales
value.
New South Wales at $2.02.
Look, we posted yesterday some interesting predictions. I know Nash Stevenson said 4-2 for Queensland.
4-2.
Diluted.
But
That's a heavy
Has he
unders.
been watching the game this year? There's been not much defence.
what do we think, boys? Is there a multi-first try score that we're really looking at, or is there some sort of bet that the followers can follow us on with?
Well, I have a question for you guys. Like, I'm just going to say a multi, and you have to try and guess the odds. All right. So we got Queensland to win. That's a given. Hammer and Toto to score. What do you think that's paying?
I'd
$11.20.
Oh, it's not value then. It's $9.50. But I think it's still pretty good. Anyway,
I
good
think
shout.
in terms of first try scorer, I think a nice little DCE crossfield kick to Xavier Coates. I think it's at $10.
Look,
I'll chuck a $5 on it.
Normally, you can't go wrong in recent years with just the Hammer and Queensland to win, or Val Holmes in like going down the track. He always scores.
see, Brian is like $1.60 every week for the Panthers, but he's $2.20. So I think it's a bit of value, even though it's the other team.
I think it's just because it's Origin. There's not normally many blowouts.
It's a bit cursed to bet on the other team to score as well because it's conflicting. I'd rather just go full Queenslander mode.
Well, on our Origin predictions actual post, my brother tipped the Blues, and he's not welcome back into the household.
No, he's not welcome back on the podcast. So
And I don't hear anything about jinxes or anything. The jinxes don't count for Origin.
No, they don't. You just got to support it straight through and through.
Yeah, exactly.
Boys, the setup's looking nice. I mean, we did fork out a bit of money for it. We got these like nice handles. What do you call it? I don't even know
Mounts?
Mounts. Yeah, we've
Yeah.
been waiting for them, but they've finally arrived. I hope it looks good on camera.
I think it looks good.
You guys
got
look
a bit
good.
of
Yeah,
a
we're
bit of hands-free.
with thousands in debt, so please buy a hat.
Yeah, Bentley, you normally do the plug at the end of the podcast, but I feel like people aren't listening, so
I'm going to get on my hands and knees.
you can do the plug now. Do the plug now.
Now, if you guys want to support us, you can buy a hat if you like. Check out the Instagram shop section. That's my plug.
No comment on the green and cream.
Green and cream, obviously one of the most attractive color combinations. And we've done that for a reason. If you guys want to get some compliments when you're walking down the road, like just buy a hat.
I know Dor's got plenty wearing his. So
Most certainly.
yeah,
Plug for the beanie door. That's special.
Yeah, no. Wore it to work today.
all out
Plenty
beanies
of,
potentially.
Potentially, maybe. It's been
Well, we started
cool
with
enough
quarter
in
zips.
Queensland.
That never happened.
It's in the works.
It's
It's in the works, boys. It's in the works.
Hey boys, there's some good bets there for tomorrow night, and obviously being Queenslanders, we are very biased towards our selections, which you probably saw on the Instagram post. But look, go Queensland! I hope we can get the job done. I'd say we're underdogs, even though we're not in New South Wales. I mean,
Yeah.
I know,
One thing that disappointed me was hearing Richie Mwanga say in the DMs he's a Blues fan.
I know that really stung. I mean,
It's noted.
it is noted.
If he's listening.
Richie, if you're listening, it's noted. And Nick
That is.
Phipsy, a fan of the podcast. I know you're listening as well, mate.
Mate, we got Ellis Marnie, good friend of the podcast. We got an NRL star in Ewan Aitken.
Jeez,
Former
he's been
Maroon
playing well.
in Macca, McCulloch.
Yeah, and then Ellis Marnie, 6th grade
He's an
merchant.
up and comer, to be fair, Ellis.
All right, let's stop waffling. Go Queensland.
Do we need to? Should we maybe talk about the controversy around Tedesco coming in when he wasn't named in the 20-man squad?
Look, I don't really see it as controversy, to be honest. I mean, someone got injured. Yes, there is obviously some controversy with him not being named as 20th man. But if you want what Origin is, it's the best of the best. Just let him play. And if it was Queensland's hand, we wouldn't be complaining. So
No, I'm complaining, Cord, because all out.
no, I'm saying if it was like if Queensland
I-
were in our boat, if the boat was in Queensland's.
No, I'd
thing.
still complain because we captained James Tedesco on the weekend and then he got pulled out at the 12th hour. So then we ended up with Dylan Brown as captain with only 50 points. And then we faded in the ranks.
The only people to blame, Dor, is the Blues strength and conditioning team.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, apparently Edwards was doing extras.
Well, exactly.
And he's gone down doing the extras.
He's the fittest guy on the team.
He's doing way too much.
Yeah, they're overworking him.
Chill out, mate.
Any up and comers kids listening that want to do extras, this is a reason not to do extras.
Exactly.
Just go home. Don't pick up the cones. Don't do anything like that. Just go home. But speaking of Dor, last week we got 616 points with Dylan Brown's 100. We played 12 in the end because of James Tedesco. Some really good scores on the Thursday, Friday night, and then Salmon, Karaz sort of let us down, but it was bound to happen, really.
We could have got 13, but then Tulagi didn't even get on the field. So
Yeah, true. Yeah. And for those that were in the DMs, I don't even know what like the case is with like if you got 0, does it count as like someone as a red dot? Like, do we even know yet? Was it a red dot?
I think it was a red dot.
Yeah, he didn't
Right.
it
change
had to be a
price.
red dot because he didn't come on.
Yeah, true.
All our team's improving. That's all we can say.
Oh, it is, mate.
I think
well.
we're sort of like a Shatak, but we'll finish well.
So we're 7,909th ranked overall at the moment. So we're definitely moving in the right direction the last few weeks.
We're market movers.
We are market movers. We're coming home
Of
strong.
value.
The fish of the week really let us down this week. We
Yeah.
were really high. Posted, Cole's salmon. It was back, and then now it's the price has soared. It's
It's
too
time to go.
expensive.
Have we maybe haven't cursed salmon, but we were talking about Whiten. He's been cursed. We were talking about Brimson, cursed. Maybe we need to stop commenting about fish.
Well,
Yeah.
It's done.
they
Bateman
got
cursed.
they got injured, but they performed well in the week we said it. So I think it's
Hopefully
it's
Ryan
okay.
Trout and his prediction brings us back.
Yeah.
A fish prediction of the week.
But Jacob
Trout.
Preston for the Doggies were very good. We brought him in, and he was an absolute star. 2 tries, 83 points, 660K now. I'd be buying. Although they do have the buy next week, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah. The
Yeah.
Dogs have got the bye next week. Yep, that is
So-
100% right, Cord.
Time to track in to round 14 teams. Now, a very interesting round, of course, with Origin players either backing up or not. Dragons, Mick, they're back playing. Ben Hunt, Zach Lomax, Jaden Sewer, all included to back up after Origin. Good news if you have Lomax or Sewer.
Yeah, it is good news. I think Hunt's one to watch if he doesn't back up.
I don't think they're going to back up because they're
yeah.
all in the extended. They're all in the extended squad. They are included, but they're in the extended squad, not named in the 17. So they're the first game on the Friday night. I don't see them backing up.
This is a bit of a plug for Door Stories, but if there's ever a time to make sure you're updated on our stories, this is the week.
Almost certainly.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Shout out Jack DeBellin as well. He's always a star during the Origin period, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's got 3 scores in a row over 50, 724K.
I got him
You
in.
get what you get for him.
He's consistent, and especially in the mid, weird position and not much quality. He's great.
Special performance, Mick, by your Red V last week.
It was due.
What a
Yeah.
second half.
All it takes is a Flano halftime spray.
What about the favourites last week? They all lost.
Well, good multi for betting. That's
Yeah,
all it is.
yeah.
I know there's one human out there who bets on roughies every week, all like every team.
Flatly.
No, I'm just sure someone exists who just every week
right.
they bet
Okay.
every non-favorite. They'd be
I know
wealthy.
Flats loves a
Hot
loves loves a roughie.
For the Tigers boys, lots of injuries in the second row. So good news for our Fainu. Samuel
Yeah,
Fainu. Yeah. He's got the starting second row job. I mean, that try that he scored a few weeks back really boosted his score. I mean, he keeps chipping away nicely. Christian Mills texted me this week and he said he's captaining Lachlan Galvin.
That's why he's not welcome back.
That's why
Well,
he came on a
he's been playing
podcast.
well.
He's got a 3-game average of 60 points. So
Yeah.
I can't blame him.
Maybe I'm the casual here.
Yeah.
Alex Twoll's definitely one to watch as
Yeah,
well, boys. He's starting this week, but obviously Clemmer is suspended for a couple of weeks. But look, I think it's there's some value there. I can see him moving back to lock when Clemmer does return because obviously Bateman and IPAP are out. I think Bateman's probably another 6 weeks, I think, and IPAP's out 8. So 12 could be some value there for you.
Yeah. I mean,
Sure.
the next game, there is plenty of value. I'm reading here that Jaden Campbell is back from injury,
On the extended reserve.
but on the extended reserve. So he's going to be playing lower grades. Good news for Keeney. He was always a buy at the start of the year, fellas.
Finally cooked.
Yeah, he was always a buy.
He started off the year terribly, and that was one of the best games of the season from a fullback on the weekend.
Yeah.
It was incredible. It was sad, Broncos fans.
I feel sorry for
never
Des.
mind, that was the week before.
I feel sorry for Des. Like, how the hell is he meant to make a decision on a fullback when Brimson's back as well?
Yeah. Is it time to jump on David Fafita, boys? I mean, 64 average in 919K. I mean, is it time to trade someone like Hines, who's going to be playing 2 games a week, to David Fafita?
They've got a bye around 17. That's the only thing, but it is David Fafita, so
Yeah, well, they still play, 16 and 19, I think. So the 2 other major buy rounds, I think.
Yep.
So
He's obviously...
I wouldn't trade Hines for him, though. I'm holding Hines.
I think he's roughed up a few feathers in the Origin selection team, or someone doesn't like him, because there's no way he's not getting picked.
Mate, if Queensland lose game 1, David Fafita plays game 2.
Yeah,
100%.
that's what I'm saying. Like, wait until after Origin tomorrow night to make your decision, because I think Cord's right. If Queensland lose, I think Fafita's definitely back in the setup, the Origin 17.
If we
the
win,
Maroons next
he's a
week.
must-have.
Yeah, big
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of criticism about Latrell Mitchell and his form recently, but he actually hasn't scored under 50 since returning from suspension in round 10. Got a 3-game average of 63. Are we looking at him potentially for, I guess, a Reece Walsh sort of trade out, Tedesco trade out if you unfortunately brought him in? You've got to get rid of him.
Yeah, and Deadwoods as well.
Deadwoods, yeah, he's definitely a trade. So
is this another case of like David Fafita, like he might get brought in? Do we think after the first game?
That's a tough one as well, actually.
I wouldn't be trading Tedesco or Edwards either.
You wouldn't?
Personally, no. Edwards is only a minor quad injury, only 1 to 2 weeks. He's probably back next week.
Yeah, but then you got to think
You gotta
about
think about
2
Origin.
weeks. If
Yeah.
they lose, then they're going to pick Deadwoods.
Well, Roosters already had a horrible schedule.
No, I'm not talking
Anyway.
about Deadwoods.
Yeah, but I think if New South Wales win, I don't think Tedesco gets dropped. I think Edwards stays
Agreed.
out.
Basically, just watch Origin.
yeah, let's
Yeah.
watch Origin, see what
saying?
happens, and then we'll decide from there.
But no, Damien Cook, you have to get him. If you don't have him, get him.
This is the cheapest it's going to be.
Yeah.
It's his form the last couple of weeks has been absolutely ridiculous. I'm trading Morgan Smithy so quickly out of the all-out team to get in Damien Cook. It's not funny.
Yeah, when you talked about Cook there, Dor, something else rised, like your beanie. You love him.
Yeah, yeah, love Cookie. It's great to see him back playing a good minutes. So
Yeah, I mean, he is definitely by. I can't really see him playing Origin at all. And I don't think there's really much else to talk about for those two. For the Cows, great win for the Cows on the weekend against the Roosters. I know Hainsey wasn't impressed with that performance in the second half. But look, it looks like all 6 of their Origin representatives are going to be backing up. So that's good news for the Cows and everyone who owns the likes of, Nanai, who else is there? Cotter,
Reece Robson.
Reece Robson. So that's all good signs. Warriors, still no sign of Sean Johnson. A lot of DMs this week saying, is he going to be a buy? Is he not going to be a buy? No sign of him, Dor.
no, it doesn't look like he's back this week. Fanua Blake's back though.
And Tohu Harris. Big news there.
Tohu, CNK.
They were very valuable holds.
Look, as Mick was saying before, I think this week, other than any other week, you have to be paying attention because the Dragons and Cowboys have named all their Origin players in the extended reserves, and they've done this previous seasons before the Cowboys. They basically check their fitness, talk to the players, then they'll make their decision right probably before the cut, so 24 hours before.
Yep.
So make sure you're paying attention to the stories because there could be a lot of changes this week.
Oh, yeah. Like Mick said, the stories are huge this week, so got to be looking out for them. Bronx Dor, they're all backing up.
Yeah, I'd be watching Reece Walsh out of anyone. I think he won't back up is my instinct. I reckon Cobbo will go to fullback because he's coming off the bench for the Maroons.
Yeah.
Tristan's in the reserves too, so
It's probably a valid
Yeah.
take, Dor.
And
It just depends.
and
this was-
Karapani's been going really well as well, Bence.
For Haas.
Could be a red dot.
What do you reckon for Haas, Dor?
Payne Haas.
Reckon he plays?
Yeah,
it's Payne Haas, mate.
it's Payne Haas.
Yeah, but
He's the
he has a
engine.
niggling injury. So-
Yeah, nah. I think from what I saw when was it against the Titans? I thought Payne Haas looked pretty good. Walsh was at stages like limping and had heavy strapping on his knee. So I think there's more of a chance that everyone else backs up and Walsh doesn't.
His only reason he could play is it's obviously a big game. But
Oh,
Nico Hines
100%.
isn't playing, so
Yeah. Look, boys, question of the week undoubtedly in the DMs will be, is Nico Hines a sell now that he's not backing up? I believe, Dor, you said that he's going to be playing like 2 games since now.
I was
from
Angus,
now.
Angus Crichton.
I was at Angus Crown.
Yeah, Angus Crichton is.
My bad then.
Yeah,
But
no.
is he still a sell?
Sharkies have a bias round 16 and 20. And plus, if he plays Origin the whole time, like it could be another Gus Bus scenario where he's only playing a handful of games.
Yep.
If
And
you've
he's
got
a
a heap,
million.
if you got a heap of trades, I'm all for it. But
I'm
I don't.
selling.
I
I'm
don't,
personally
so
selling him this week, I think.
I'm also selling him this week.
I'm holding.
it depends.
I don't
Like,
have many trades.
I think someone like if you're going to like a Moses, that's good. But I think you try and use that money to depthen your team.
Hold on. To a Moses.
No, I'm saying like to another gun half.
Yeah, but you don't think Moses comes in if the Blues lose on Wednesday
I don't
night?
think so.
I don't think so either. Yeah.
I reckon he's a shoe-in if the Blues lose.
Let's talk about it.
I reckon Nico's in trouble if the Blues lose.
To me, this is just ridiculous, right? Because Nico Hines has been killing it for the first 3 months of football.
He'll be scapegoat 100%.
He'll be
yeah.
scapegoated 100%. Mitch Moses has played, 3 weeks?
1 week.
No, he played 3
Oh,
weeks beforehand.
yeah.
1 week.
Yeah.
Yes, he played well. He played a depleted. Who'd they play? The
Sharks.
The Sharks. They played a depleted Sharks side, and supposedly should be. I mean, as a Queenslander, I hope they pick Mitch Moses. To be honest,
I don't really care who they pick.
It doesn't matter.
Don't matter.
That might
doesn't
get clipped and turned into an edit if we lose.
Yeah, well,
Oh, well, here's what it is. You got to risk it for the biscuit, both say. Let's move on, though. The Storm are playing the Knights. Harry Grant is named to back up, which is great for the all-out team. Look, a lot of these guys you probably wouldn't captain that are backing up from Origin purely because they're going to be playing reduced minutes. Well, that's the only way I can see it.
good news for Wishart as well.
Yeah, he remains really handy, doesn't he?
Yeah, Pappenhausen, I think, out for another 1 to 2 weeks. So that's good. There was rumours that Pappenhausen could play in the halves, but I don't believe that.
I don't see it.
Yeah, I think that Sewell will just end up going to somewhere else in the back line or back to New South Wales Cup.
Good to see that.
Unfortunately.
Good to see that Armstrong's kept his spot, boys. He's been killing it, and there was talk that Sharp was going to come in and replace him.
I am
It was
worried
a poor
because
score though.
It
He
was
got
a poor
26.
score. Yeah.
It was 8 at half time, and he had a lot of errors back there. But
What's his break even? Let's have a
I'd,
quick
I'd
It'll be
love
safe.
to.
It's still
I'd love to
13,
see him
yeah.
play in a game that's not rain affected.
Yeah,
He's probably
that's
played
so
3
true.
games in rain.
look, let's be real. Fletcher Sharp is in the extended squad, so he's named in jersey number 22. But look, the Knights had won 4 in a row before that they lost on the weekend in a horrible conditions. If you drop like someone like that after 1 game in horrible conditions after winning 4 weeks beforehand in a row, like I just think that's horrible.
In terms
Yeah.
of fantasy, his break even is still only 2 after that terrible score. So it's
Yeah.
just like, don't even worry.
Don't worry.
And Kai Pierce-Paul keeps going well for the all-out team. We're
he
contemplating
keeps
selling
kicking.
him, but he keeps kicking. Bit like
It's
the
him.
fish of the week, salmon, but it is what it is.
Yeah, a bit of non-kicking action from Salmon last week.
You know, there's a guy who's
But a
going,
lovely boost. He was
Lovely
on
boost.
Very
15 and 15 points with 9 missed tackles or something. I think ended up with 22.
We'll take that
after-
boost.
I was just going to say, you know, who's gone unnoticed on the Knights. He's actually a quality player, Dylan Lucas.
Oh,
In terms of fantasy as well, I think he didn't have
He's
a
a
good score
keeper.
on the weekend, but
Yeah, he didn't have a great.
he's almost
game.
holding Frizzell out of the side, or at least to keep him on the bench.
Yeah.
As well as Frizzell's injury history.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Which hasn't helped him, unfortunately. But
We
no.
touched on Dylan Edwards, boys, but for the Panthers and the Seagulls, look, I'm really not seeing much else from the Panthers sort of point of view. Jerome Luai and, named to back up, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah, Yo and Jerome. Yep, backing
Well, we
up.
should,
Jack
we
Cole's
should,
there.
should discuss Schneider. Like, is Jack Cole going to keep his spot?
Yeah, I think he is.
I think he is, yeah.
Well, Schneider's
he's
18th
been,
man.
yeah,
so.
he's like fine to play now, Schneider. So he's been selected over him.
And big news out of the Seagulls camp. Tom Travojevic still a month away. Hopper Whitey's got the fullback spot with Cooler back into the centres. with Garrick. So for those that were looking at Garrick to potentially go to fullback, a bit diabolical scenes
Or
there.
Kohler.
Or people that bought Kohler because he was playing fullback.
Oh, yeah,
It was-
that
His
would've
average
killed.
at fullback was like 70 or something when we
Yeah.
were promoting him, and then gets injured. That's just like so annoying.
Yeah.
You know what? If we look back in the year and we do our review, what's the 2 worst buys that you could possibly done?
Lussick.
Lussick. No,
Lussick.
Lussick was okay. Lussick was okay.
it's-
One's Ryan Madison.
Yeah, Ryan Madison's
2 was
definitely number
cooler.
one.
2 was cooler.
Yeah, but I think we fell into the trap. We know Lussick's not that great, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maddo's a good player.
Look,
Just didn't get,
respect
just,
to
Lussick.
just
Yeah,
get
yeah.
named.
I've been waiting to
I don't think we've really made that, apart from Madison, I don't think we've really made that bad moves. Like, obviously, Madison's...
Rushton?
Oh, that was a few years ago. But yeah, Big Harry Rushton.
Oh,
Look, at least
dear.
he was
Really
nice
quit.
and cheap. At least he was nice and cheap.
Yeah,
Dude.
no, it didn't ruin our season or anything.
Yeah, no.
Look, boys,
Definitely
for those that have been a podcast fan of this podcast since 2021, they would know that Toby Sexton is the best NRL halfback in the league, and I've been saying it since 2021. He had an absolute blinder on the weekend, and he's the new halfback in town.
Oh,
and I'm
yes,
saying
no
he's a
Drew.
buy. 476k, buy him now.
I like him.
He's
honestly.
a talent. I've been saying this for years.
I don't think he's the greatest halfback in the world, but what's his competition blood? It's Drew Hutchinson. And it took him 13 rounds to beat him.
And he was special on the weekend. So
Yeah, he was pretty good.
Yeah.
I'd
They
like to
stopped
see a
playing
good
well
sample
now.
I think
size.
we blame Seraldo for that, Mick.
Yeah, I agree, Dor. I've been saying this for years that he's a talent and he's going to be a buy.
He's so talented that he got 26 points. Wow.
I know, he's a buy.
That was
Yeah,
the-
I think he must be doing some advanced
He's
like,
not actually a
metrics
buy.
type of stuff.
I would,
Don't buy.
I would honestly just some of the scores last weekend. I would honestly just like not take into consideration because the games like that Dogs Knights game was the conditions were horrendous.
They were.
Boys, question: who has more aura, Drew Hutchinson or Sexton?
Sexton.
Sexton, obviously.
If you said neither, I wouldn't argue with you.
Yeah.
No, I
well,
like Sexton.
the
Some good news in the Eels scored.
yeah, big time. I mean, Brennan Hands.
I mentioned him at the start of the potty last week.
I don't know if we can trust Eels hookers, boys. I mean, I know Brad Arthur's gone and his antics are out the window, but can we trust Trent Barrett from a?
I think
from
Hands
a,
is different.
Yeah,
He's better.
I agree, but this is like all feel. It's just hands on the field looks good.
Does Hands have aura? I mean,
Yeah.
it's a term that gets thrown around a lot these days.
I think
But
we overuse it in this podcast.
I think we book it with Trent. We book it with Trent and
I,
get
I
hands.
think he's a buy, like 100%. And even if he like if another hooker comes in, he's 270 odd K.
That's what
Yeah,
I was saying. I was
fuck it.
saying in the to the
He's a
DMs
buy.
and the followers. I
what's
was
the
like,
Eels buy breakdown?
you've got
Oh, let's have a look.
Hands and Kelmer who were both like 200 odd K last week, and they both got 50 odd. Like, why wouldn't
I
you?
think I'll be looking at hands and Cook, two hookers.
Yeah, and they've got buys around 16 and 20. But you have to remember every team has at least 2 buys left. So but if it's at least 2, like that's still a buy. So
No, I think the Titans and
oh
off
wait,
the top
yeah,
of my
you're
head,
right,
yeah,
you're
I
right.
think
Dolphins have
yeah,
one more after this week.
yeah, Titans and Storm have already had Titans and Storm. I think I had 2 buys. The Rabbitohs might.
Yeah,
as well.
Rabbitohs have one more as well.
Did
Yeah.
we comment on Blaze?
Yeah,
being
that's
back in the
it's
centres?
great to be back.
Yeah,
in the
good to be
centres.
back.
Obviously good for owners, but I don't think his scoring will be replicant of what he was at fullback.
His break even will still be low, assuming
yeah.
that 0 didn't do anything, which is really good.
You're obviously holding.
The other thing as well is the Dogs' defense has been absolutely elite this year, and the other thing is he's come in for an injured player in Simonson.
I think you also got to start planning listeners to go for players that are playing by round 16. I mean, that's like the next major buy round. So if you want to be up there with all the guys in the overall positions of the top thousands, I guess you got to start planning for that. So
You can just make so many ranks over the major buy rounds if you plan well.
Yeah, I saw someone, I think it was in a Facebook group or something. He went from 9,000 to about 700 just this week.
Well, Flats made a huge run. He
reversed him.
Yeah, he went to. I think he's just inside the top 1,000.
He's going
Flats,
800, I think.
so
Yeah.
yeah.
I lost a lot of ranks.
If I'm being honest, you're holding Salmon, you're holding Hughes. They played round 16 again. I'd be holding them just as long and then flick them off after round 16, to be honest.
It's a painful hold.
It's
Like,
a painful hold,
if
but if you can afford to have them in the emergencies, you know, you're going to have Galvin, You're going to have, I know the Bronx don't play around 16. That's interesting. But you're going to have
they play 19.
all the Roosters guys. So I'd be holding them. Terrell May, he's a hold. That was a bloody good score on the weekend. That
Oh,
shit
my
me off.
sweet baby Tyrrell.
Here's a take about May. I think he should have played Origin over Spencer.
He played 75 minutes and looked comfortable as well.
Like,
so.
how has Spencer gotten that jersey over him? What's he done this
Good
year?
culture guy, obviously.
Wow.
Look, Linu was.
say that.
He was. I thought he's been pretty solid, Linu, when since he's come back. But I think Tyrrell May's been outstanding for like at least a couple of months.
No, I do think Lena's a good, like, he's perfect
He's impact
bench
player.
player.
Impact
He's a good
player.
impact player, but I think May just deserved it.
Well, if you're basing off like
I definitely.
Billy Slater's sort of selection model, then you probably would be selected. But anyway, I think we might leave it there, boys. Origin, big game on Wednesday, into the footy on Friday night, not Thursday night.
Are we concerned about Ashley Klein?
Oh, no, not really.
Nah.
I will say this, though. Adam G got robbed of the
Yeah.
first Origin. He was unbelievable in the NRL Grand Final last year. He deserves this Origin game. I wouldn't say he's had a bad start to 2024. I don't know what Graham Annesley is doing. So,
I don't.
Adam, if you're listening to this, you've been jibbed, man, I think.
I think it's because Klein did a decent job last year. I think is why he's got the role again.
Yeah, if you've performed in the past, I guess.
We hit in the Caxton for the game, by the way.
I
or
feel.
no?
Game 3, I reckon. Game 3.
I'll be at the game for game 3. So I'll do a bit of vlogging or something at
Sweet.
the game. But
Stay
You
tuned.
hear that, listeners? Door's going to be there. Get your photos.
This is our first 4-man podcast in maybe a year.
very special.
Something to note.
On that note, we'll leave it there, and we'll see you later.
See ya.
Up the Maroons, Queenslander.
DCE man of the match, bet on it.
First try scorer, Joe Mono.